Welcome everybody to the Watchlist, your virtual weekly TV guide right here on the Latin Nerds Network. Ready to go over all the shows, movies, documentaries released on streaming over the past week. Give you our best recommendations or non-recommendations as the case may be. And of course, at the end of the show, letting you know what's coming out over the next 2 weeks. So you too can create your very own watch list. Joining us as always, Senor Jaime, of course, aka Chewy, live from Houston. What it is, what it was, what it shall be.
What up, brother? Finally, we're
Finding
getting the
out a
show on the road.
little difficulties here. We are recording this on the eve of Mother's Day to wish all you
Happy
mothers out
Mother's
there
Day to all the
Mother's Day.
wives and moms and
Wives,
grandmas.
grandmothers, just take them out the one day out
And,
of the year.
and,
Should be
and
every
don't
day should be Mother's Day. Let's be honest,
don't
but
forget Mr. Moms.
that's true. Mr. Moms as well. They count as mothers. So we got hopefully there's stuff you guys can watch together as a family. That's one thing I can recommend. We'll talk about that in a minute. Of course, if you're new to the show, thank you for joining us here every Sunday. Usually Sundays, Saturday, whatever. Don't know what's going on. You're telling yourself, I don't know what to watch. Nonsense. There's always something to watch. That's what we're here for, to let you know what you should be tuning into. Of course, we had a lot of comments last week on the Ethernet. A lot of people were liking that show, and we did recommend that. So glad to see you guys were agreeing. We would love to see
I
comments.
saw the end of season two. It's yeah. I mean,
Yeah, good show. Enjoyed it. Good sci-fi. Season 2 coming out. So, like to see comments. Comment below. You think you agree with us? Don't agree with us? A show we didn't mention or talk about in the show. You want us to mention or watch? Comment below as always. But of course, we want to. This Mother's Day, but things happen. Fortunate circumstances occur. We have a little in memoriam, unfortunately, this week, or fortunately, depending on who you may ask. And that is a sad passing, very sad passing, not to me, but maybe for others, of one Sutsele, which has been canceled, nearing
again.
its finale, getting no cancellation. This didn't even barely lasted one season. So my condolences to anybody out there who were fans of the show. I think, Chewy, you liked it. I'm not sure, maybe you didn't. I don't remember now.
It's
If you
not as
did.
good as the original, and usually it never is. And so I could see the writing on the wall. It's just I mean, there's too much flashback, too much. I don't know what they were trying to do. It's just not the same.
I wouldn't tell you because I didn't see it, and apparently I wasn't the only one not seeing the show. So whatever. Sorry, guys. If you guys are into it, you're gonna have that show no more. But on the positive side, on the flip side of the coin, the studio got renewed naturally for season 2. Right?
Nice.
Great show on Apple Plus, of course. If you guys aren't tuning in, you should. Very good. So we got some bad, we got some good. It's all good. But let's get on with Chewy. As we celebrate moms this weekend, let's start with the first thing that
Oh
moms.
well, I mean,
Oh,
since you're talking about the studio, I mean, it was good to see Homelander Eden again, a little crossover with Severance, some hacks action. I
Hacks,
mean,
yeah, Hacks was there, of course. A lot of famous names and faces in the last episode of the studio. Always good to see that, of course, coming off Cube a couple weeks ago. But let's get started on the show. This probably won't interest a lot of moms, so what is what it is. We got to cater to all individuals. We got the Force, may the Force be with you. It's last week, and of course that means the dropping of an animated series on Disney Plus, Tales of the Underworld, dropping about 6 episodes, very short, 10, 15-minute long episodes, focusing on 2, of course, I'd say villains of Star Wars lore. If you're really deep into it, Cad Bane being one of them, kind of an origin story, if more or less. And also, I forgot her name, but she was one of the assassins for Count Dooku. I'm going
Ajaz Ventress.
there. We got a lot
Yes.
of deep cuts here. 3 episodes on each character. Um, it was fine. I like the Cad Bane story a little bit more, honestly. But at 13, 12 minutes, it's hard to tell a really fleshed out story with 3 episodes at that short a time. You're looking about not even 40 minutes to tell a story for an origin story. So whatever, for whatever it's worth, animation's cool. It's enjoyable. Star Wars, it's fine. If you're big fan of the deep lore, getting into it, I guess you can do worse than watch this, Chewy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not adequate development to truly enjoy, the. I don't even call it origin story. It's just a story, right? Cat Bane is probably more origin than
Right,
the
exactly.
Alja
Yeah, yeah.
story. That's just like kind of what happened after she supposedly died in Clone Wars and whatnot, right? So,
Right, right.
but it's just too short. I mean, they seem to do this to us, man. They give us not enough,
Yeah, and it's
and
good, and it's a good story in there somewhere.
Yeah.
It just like I said, it's still okay at the end of the day, right? It's nothing
No,
to
no,
write home
not
about,
bad.
right?
So
It's
I
not bad,
watch, I
but
enjoy it. Yeah.
it's short. You have to be a real deep Star Wars fan to kind of really get into it. To be honest with you, this is not for the casual Star Wars fan, I don't think. Next one, the Untold series, of course, returning. This is a weekly release here. It was first one focusing on shooting guards, of course, on the incident involving Gilbert Arenas, who's making a big name podcasting and all that stuff
Well,
this
a
basketball
gun
thing.
incident wasn't a shooting. It was just a gun
A
incident.
gun. Well, it's called shooting guards, but yeah, it was a gun incident brought to a locker room, spurred by, I guess, some betting or whatever the case is. And listen, this series has always been really good. If you're a sports fan, they kind of take a nice, good deep dive into all kinds of subjects in relation to sports, right? This being one of them. So it's enjoyable. It's always well done. I look forward to continuing to watch this series. I think they're going to release 3 or 4. I guess I'm not sure how many they're going to
I
release.
think three this
Is it
time
three?
around.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, they release 3 or 4 in every so often, but it's a good series. I always recommend this if you're a sports fan. Chewy.
No, it was good, man. Like I said, I remember this incident. Didn't know what happened afterwards. Right? I forgot about the suspensions, but
Yeah.
then I think they went a little deeper with Crittenton and what happened to him afterwards. Right? Essentially, washed out of the league, trying to play in China, and then obviously getting into a real shooting. Unfortunate, but interesting take on it, and kind of giving us the full fleshed out story of what surrounded this and what happened afterwards.
Yeah, so these are always well done. They do a really good
Yeah.
job. Reminiscent of like 30 for 30, for those who've seen that on ESPN. It's very similar. Some of these actually being better in terms of what I think presentation wise.
Yeah.
Blood of Zeus on Netflix, the next one, animated show, final season. We never really watched it. If I did, I don't remember it. So, but I know you're a fan of it. I don't think I don't honestly I don't think I watched it. To be honest
Oh
with
no,
you.
you never watched it.
Um,
I think this was
okay,
off our radar.
okay.
So I mean, if you're into Greek mythology, this is it. This is kind of telling the story, the battle of the gods, right? And if you've seen enough of the Clash of the Titans or anything, that you recognize all the gods, all the characters, the stories and stuff. But it's obviously animated format, so it's actually pretty good.
It's very adult, right? I assume.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I
yeah,
figured.
yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah,
figured.
there's nothing childish about this.
Okay, I didn't think so. So yeah, I figured as much. But whatever. I guess but you get a recommendation. So is it 4 seasons or 3?
This is only 3 seasons.
Okay, but it's the last one. Final.
Yeah, this is the
Okay,
last one.
gotcha.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha. Next one on the list, we got season 2 of Poker Face, popular show on Peacock. Oh my God, what's her name? I forgot. Natasha Leon.
Leon.
There we go.
Yeah.
Leon, of course, American Pie fame. Of course, Russian Doll, great show on Netflix. Had a couple of seasons. This one here, she's kind of on the run, checkered history, and she's got this talent to sniff out a lie. I mean, virtually no one can lie to her. She can sniff it out, even just by hearing it. So that talent lends her to kind of solve murders that she just happens to come across as she's traveling and she's trying to stay off the radar, if you will. Season 1 was good. I like season 1. I'm glad I got season 2. It's I've seen about one, but 1.5 of these. It's okay. It's good, but the same problem for me is still there. Is that they kind of show you the murder and then, they show her trying to figure it out once she stumbles upon it. But I like to go on the journey of discovery with her, and they don't allow us to do that, and it's a little bit frustrating, right? Because the first 20 minutes of a show doesn't even involves the other characters. Well, two of the characters, and one that gets killed off, and okay, then bring her in about 30 minutes in, and then try to resolve it essentially. It's still entertaining. I like her as a character, and I still watch it. It's cool, but man, I just really wish that they kind of change the storytelling on this one. But yeah, Drew, your thoughts?
Yeah, they're not gonna change the story on anyone. Sorry.
No, yeah, unfortunately, no. I said it is what it
um,
is, right?
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think in the third episode they do change it a little bit.
Okay.
Um, but the first two, I think, were standard fare of the first. But you kind of see what happens, and then she's comes back and is introduced, and she kind of figures it out, right, of what's going on. Um, I know we wish that would change, but it's not going to. At least
Not going to.
maybe at the next set episode. Because obviously they dropped 3 episodes, so
Right, exactly. I think they're doing weekly after that, I assume.
yeah,
I mean, it's still good. It's still entertaining. I just think it's just, it's a mystery. I wish I had a little more to it, honestly. But it's still fun. I like the character. She really makes it work at the
yeah.
end of the day. She's actually fun to watch. Next one up, we got a docufilm, A Delhi American Marriage on Netflix. Not exactly Mother's Day watching, but whatever it is, what it is. This one, I guess, maybe it is. I don't know. You're into true crime. Mothers like true crime, so why not? This one here, of course, chronicles, I guess, an event that happened mid 2000s, so it wasn't that
Yeah.
long ago, about a husband who was killed by the wife and father-in-law, I guess, or her father. They claim in self-defense. Of course, there was a trial, a lot of retrials and incarcerations and et cetera, et cetera. I focus on the two kids who were, I think, 5 or 6 years old at the time, and now they're late teens, and they're telling their side of the story and what happened, what they experienced, and of course the aftermath of that. Cool story. I enjoyed it. I thought it was well made, for like an hour and 20 minutes long. I didn't know about this, and it's definitely a cool mystery, and it's definitely one of those that's it's up in the air, right? It's just beauty in the eye of the beholder here. You can make out the facts of whatever circumstantial evidence is there, and you can make up your own mind where you think this was a murder, this was a self-defense, which is what they were claiming. Interesting story. I enjoyed it. Why not, Chewy?
No, yeah, like I said, not a famous case by any stretch of imagination, not that I can
No,
recall,
I didn't remember
but
so.
still enough there of enough interest, and kind of makes you want to find out, okay, who's telling the truth and who's not, right? Obviously, they were found guilty once. Okay, they got to reach out because someone said they show evidence. Okay, but then they were found guilty again of a lesser crime,
Well,
right? So
they pled out or whatever the case is.
no,
So
no, 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 no. They went to jury. She didn't plead out.
did it?
No,
Oh, I'm sorry.
no.
You're right.
Both
You're right. You're right. Yeah.
both cases.
My bad. Yeah,
She
you're right.
th- they were they, she
Yeah.
they were going to, and then something happened, and then they
Yeah.
didn't. But they went both trials went to jury. And I think the first time it was second degree murder. I think the second one was manslaughter, involuntary manslaughter. Um, and then with time served. I mean, obviously, both people are out of jail now, so with a lesser charge. But
Yeah. And
still,
you did hear from them on the show. They're actually there as well
yeah,
talking,
yeah, yeah. They're part of the
which is
show.
interesting.
Yeah, I mean, the
Yeah.
family, the kids, um, and so you get their perspective. I just don't know what's the truth, what really happened, because
Yeah.
some of the stories that she was saying with the kids, the things she was doing, but then they introduce him and his potential anger issues. I don't know. I just don't know, dude.
And that's what makes it interesting, right? Because there's no clear answer, right? Ultimately, and
But the brutality of the murder, man, it's like, damn, dude. I
I
mean,
mean, yeah,
shit.
this guy got bludgeoned, if you will. But I mean,
I mean, Jesus, man.
only three people were there for the most part, and that's all.
Mm,
One of them can't defend themselves, so
yeah,
it came down to the two defendants. But I mean, I said it was well done, interesting, right? It's just
yeah.
again a good true crime is like, okay, you
Mhm.
form your own opinion of whether they're guilty or not, right? So that
Yeah.
I definitely enjoyed it. Last one here, we got a Netflix film starring Vince Vaughn called Nonnas. Of course, is a term used for grandmothers.
Italian grandmothers.
Italian.
Yeah, yeah.
This is one where Vince Vaughn, his mother just recently passed, and he decides to kind of comes to a crossroads and decides he wants to do something different with his life. Opens up a restaurant, but instead of having chefs, he wants to have the kind of family feeling which he had when his mom was cooking and his family. So he brings a lot of grandmothers from the neighborhood
And
to come
based
in
on
and
a true
cook,
story,
which I
apparently.
didn't know until the end of the
Yeah,
movie. I was
yeah.
like, oh, it is interesting. Oh, okay, makes it even more interesting. I wish I would have known that before, to be honest with you. No, and this is one that this is the mother recommendation, right?
Yes.
I'm not saying this is a great film or anything like that. It's very predictable, kind of campy, hokey at times, but it's fine. But listen, it's very heartfelt, right? It touches on a lot of themes. And we got Vince Vaughn, who's not doing his Vince Vaughn thing. He's not quick wit, fast talking. He's more subdued, little more nuanced performance from him. I like to see that, so they can do something different. I enjoyed it. The grandmothers are really funny. And they give you their story, right? They're like, when you're a certain age, of course, and they're retired or whatever, you have nothing to do, and this kind of gave them something, a new lease on life, if you will, right? Being cook in the restaurant and all that, and having something to be remembered by ultimately as far as legacy, and of course, and him just trying to do something for his mom, right, and honor his mom. So I enjoyed it. It's actually it's a cute film. My wife would say, "Oh, it's very cute," and she doesn't say things are good. She just says they're cute when she likes it. That's her term. That's a very cute movie in translation. She liked it. But it's good. It's fun. It's entertaining. And I think this is a classic watch at home with the mother and grandmothers. I think you're all gonna get something out of it. So this is my high recommendation. Particularly, it makes sense why they released this weekend. It's very
Yeah.
obvious of why. Like I said, it's one of the better Netflix films. Again, it's not gonna blow your socks up, but it's a good watch, especially with the family. Chewy.
No, man. I mean, it was making me hungry, man. I wanted some of that food.
Yeah, for real. I was like making some pasta tonight. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know about the goat head, but everything else, yeah,
Oh,
man.
fair. True.
But no, it was very heartfelt. A little paint by numbers, but it's
Yeah.
based on a true story, so we can't deviate too much because these things happen. The restaurant's still open today. Been open for 15 years.
Mhm.
And so, but it's on Staten Island. So when I went, there was no chance I was going to go there.
Oh, that's okay. That's where it's that. Yeah, and they're still hiring, grandmothers from around the world,
Oh yeah, yeah,
obviously.
yeah.
So
Still,
that's
still,
yeah,
still, they emphasize the family aspect of dinners, right?
yeah, family style
Which,
cooking.
yes.
Yeah. So yeah, it's real. I was surprised. I enjoyed it. So this is actually a pretty good movie. So definitely check it out. So that's all for this week. But next couple weeks, it's actually pretty big in terms of quantity of shows. Quality, time will tell. But starting next week, on the 22nd, we got Bad Thoughts. This is an interesting show. Tom Segura, I'm not sure who he is, a comedian, podcaster, whatever the case is. And I guess he has some independent stories, very dark stories here. With a different twist to it. It's interesting. I saw the trailer. I'm like, I wasn't sure what to make of this, but okay, we'll give it a
We'll see.
shot.
We'll see. Actually,
Um,
I left something off the list. Lego Masters season 5 starts next week as well. Now
and
that
that's
your
why we
favorite.
leave it off the list. We got on
Why
the
you hating on Legos? And
like
come
the Legos.
on.
Everybody loves Legos. I'm just playing. We got on the 14th finally the re-release of American Manhunt Osama bin Laden, which should have come out supposed to come out like a month ago. I remember.
Yeah, a
It was
couple months ago.
delayed, so
Yeah.
now here we go documentary, of course, and Osama bin Laden. If you know who he is, I don't know what to tell you, because we got another Liver King, another untold story coming out as well. I forgot to put
Yeah,
that on the
that's
list.
part 2 of the Liver
Yep,
King.
yep,
Yeah, that that
next one.
that character.
Yeah, it's an interesting character. So yeah, we got Snakes and Ladders again on Netflix on the 14th. This is a Mexican comedy.
Mexican comedy, yes, sir.
Is it? Let's see. Mexican comedies. I don't know, like my Latino brethren, but let's call a spade here, right? But listen to here, we got an ambitious teacher who's trying to climb up and be head of the school she's in, or whatever the case is, and the hilarity ensues only Mexicans can deliver. Take that for
Dude,
what it's worth, right?
get your
Uh,
way.
on the on the on the 15th, we got the anthology series animated Love, Death, and Robots.
Hmm.
I like this series, a cool series. These like 10, 15-minute kind of anime shorts. A lot of cool animation. With the anthology, some are good, some are not good, some are just kind of in the middle, right? So,
Mixed bag, mixed
yeah,
bag.
exactly. So I'm interested in seeing that one on the 15th. Um, we got on the 15th on FX, Welcome to Wrexham. Of course, I think it's season 4. I don't know.
Season 4, man. Yeah,
Reality
Wrexham, dude.
show, Ryan Reynolds, right? Owning his soccer team. And I know he's kind of in the news for the wrong reasons these days, but what the hell?
Oh, dude, not because of the soccer team. I'll tell you that, man.
Well,
They
not
are,
true, but
they are,
it's
they
very
are,
funny.
they are one step away from EPL, dude.
Yeah, they're having a lot of success. Who would have thought? It's cool. They chronicle their success and all. It's a very cool, very funny. It's very well done. I enjoyed
Oh
it
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Netflix.
it has elements of Ted Lasso, but
The
it's
reality
not
of
meant to be a comedy. But
right.
obviously the owners are hilarious, right? Ryan Reynolds and
Of course, I
and
forgot the guy's name.
can't remember his
Whatever.
name. I
The
know
other guy, it's like
it's always sunny.
Pavarotti and Plaza
Yeah.
Domingo and the other guy, Seinfeld.
Yeah.
On the
but
15th.
but but they
Oh, go
focus
ahead.
on the players and as well, so that's an important part of it. It's not just about their ownership; it's
No,
about
of
the
course, yeah,
team
it's everything
owners.
about the
Yeah,
team itself. I guess it's like a real life Ted Lasso. I guess is
yeah.
best way to describe it.
Hmm.
Duster coming out on the 15th on Max, getting their Thursday time slot. It's kind of a
This is a 70s
period 70s
period piece. Yes.
action thriller kind of show. Whatever. We'll see. It's Max. I'll give it its fair due.
Yeah.
Speaking of giving its fair due on Apple Plus, we always give it its fair due and justifiably. So Murderbot. This is
Hmm.
kind of a interesting kind of a robot who gains, well, he's artificial intelligence, gains I guess what do you call it, not consciousness is the right word, self-awareness, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And now he's hiding out because I guess that's a faux pas in those days, and he's out there trying to work on crops, and they discover that he's self-aware, and of course Abel's
Yeah,
trying to
this
bring
is
him
this is
down.
based on a book. I think I
Yeah,
read the book, so I'm next. But they may not stick to. I'm not sure if it's inspiration or adaptation. So I'm hopeful.
okay, it looks interesting, and again it's Apple
Yes.
Plus, so why not?
Yeah.
And then on the 15th, ending off next week, last up next week is Rotten Legacy, the Netflix I'm gonna say Spanish show, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken.
Correct.
Okay, we got a guy who is head of a huge, conglomerate communications company who gets sick. His kids take over, and they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. So he's trying to save the company's legacy. We'll see. It looks like paint by numbers, but could be nice paint. The week after that, not this is not a big week, but still, we got Untold again, continuing the Brett Favre
Yeah.
story. Of course, interesting story with him. I guess
Our
some interesting watch for Favre. The ups and downs of his career, that's
The
for sure.
anti Robin Hood.
That this is yeah, this
Take from the poor and give to myself.
Brett Favre, I tell you, he just. It's a
But
very, if you
yeah,
know what's going on with him, this is gonna be a very interesting story. I got a feeling.
yeah.
This I'm looking forward to. We got Motorhead's a new show on Prime. This was, I
Hmm.
guess, a group of people from different walks of life. This the commonality of being street racers, I guess, and something like that. I haven't seen the trailer
Correct.
for it yet. We got Sirens on the 22nd on Netflix. I
Limited
think it's
series, I
limited
believe.
series, right? Julianne Moore, Millie Alcock, of course, from Game of Thrones, and Supergirl coming out. Kevin
Yeah, that's
Bacon.
right. Yeah.
Kevin Bacon increasing his potency of 6 degrees. That continuing. Story here, where I guess Millie Alcock's character is under, I guess, the tutelage Julianne Moore, who's maybe not be the best influence on
Well, I
her
mean,
sister,
and
trying to get her from
this
the.
kind of has a feel, what was that the other show, the murder mystery one, with Liv Schreiber and Nicole Kidman?
Oh man, I forgot the one on the beach or whatever. There's someone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
it's
That's
got the
right.
kind of vibe, same kind of vibe,
Yeah, it
same kind
had
of
that
stereotype.
vibe.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right. They're uppity ups, rich. The sister comes home, and or the black sheep, I guess. I don't know, something. I'm not sure if there's murder mystery involved or just some other stuff going on, but
yeah, exactly. So we'll see. On the 23rd, we got Fear Street, Prom
a
Queen.
movie,
A
Prom Street.
movie, of
Yeah,
course. Huge fans of Fear Street when that came out, the 3-part movie series back in Netflix a couple years ago.
that was great, man.
Huge
Great stuff.
surprise, very cool, very old school kind of slasher vibe to it, but well done, right? So hopefully this follows in those footsteps. I don't know, but this is again, a kind of old school vibe with the slasher films back when that reigned supreme in the '80s. So I'm looking forward to that. And then
Uh-huh.
we're back to Apple, so I'm excited. And that's Fountain of Youth. There's a movie though. It's Krasinski, if I'm saying it right, of course, from Quiet Place, The Office, Jim from The Office,
Mhm.
and we got the Natalie Portman in this as well. This was kind of a National Treasure meets Indiana Jones, of course. There, I guess,
Meets
but
Uncharted, maybe a little bit of Uncharted in there.
Uncharted, yeah, brother and sister team who are, of course, in search of the Fountain of Youth, and I guess they have a. Well, I guess he has a beat on it, and she joins up, or whatever the case is. So it's like a nice little action adventure.
Yeah.
Apple movies haven't quite hit the mark. Very Netflix esque, maybe worse, I think, than Netflix in terms of movies. Netflix usually hits more than they do, but whatever. I like the cast. I like Portman, of course. It's Padme.
We love John Krasinski. I mean, he
I
was
love John
great.
Krasinski's great. Of course, Jack
Um,
Ryan.
Jack Ryan, thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and he's a great director. Of course, the first two Quiet Place films, so it's
Well, yeah,
actually
that's
pretty
right.
good. He
Correct. Yeah.
directed If, which is a very underrated movie. Speaking to Ryan Reynolds,
Mhm.
a good family film. But yeah, so there's a lot of stuff. So we'll talk about these next course and some others next week. Of course, on Sunday. Don't forget to
And
join
we're
us.
gonna
Comment.
wrap up
Oh,
Andor. It finally wraps up, so we'll talk about it next
we'll talk
week.
about Andor, which really good episodes. It wasn't the greatest Star
Lots
Wars
of
things.
spoilers.
And there was a
Mhm.
lot of great. I keep hearing it's the greatest 2.5 hours of Star Wars I've ever had, and it just calm down. It wasn't that. It was really
Who's
good.
saying that? What?
I read multiple things. This is the best thing Star Wars. These 3 episodes, the best 2 hours of Star Wars I've ever seen.
I mean,
It,
like the 9 episodes so far,
no, no,
or
just the last three. Like the best thing. That's not the best thing Star Wars has done. That's not. It's calm down. It's really good.
I mean,
But let's pump the
I mean,
brakes. Pump the brakes.
I'm not gonna say it's. I mean, I know that's a
It's
bold
not.
statement, and it's not even accurate. I mean, it was great. I mean, these 3 episodes of this
It was the
snippet.
best of the season by far.
I mean, it was the most. It had most on edge. It was like. I mean, it was great. I mean, it
It
was. I
was
mean, the
no doubt,
acting, the
no doubt,
storytelling,
for sure,
this
for sure.
snippet, the action, the massacre, all this stuff that was going. There's a lot of stuff going on, right? A lot of
Yeah.
nuances, a lot of moving pieces, right? Um, is it the best? I mean, it's not. It's so much
It's
anti Star Wars. This
it
whole
really
show
is like it's
because
not.
Star Wars is popcorn. Turn off your brain and watch.
Sure,
It's
of
Saturday
course.
morning stuff,
Yeah.
right? Jedi, Sith. This is more political intrigue, rebellion. Serious tones, not meant for kids. And with these episodes were great. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
It's not. I mean, it's not Empire Strikes Back, which is the best 2.5 hours any Star Wars ever done.
But I
I mean,
don't
this.
know, dude. Revenge of the Sith. I'm just kidding.
No, it's good. And the underrated Phantom Menace.
Oh, stop it.
Uh, But yeah, it's not the best. But it was really good. It's really good, and we'll talk about the finale. We'll see how this ends. If it ends on, I mean, I assume it's going to end on a
We
high
know
note.
it's going to end, right? It's going to end
Oh
at
well, we
Rogue One.
know, but I mean, the
Yeah.
execution of the ending is, I guess, I should
Look,
say,
look, look,
matters.
look, look. My,
Yeah.
my only issue is that this has turned out exactly as I thought. It's four individual stories
Yeah,
of a greater scheme, but
of
it's not
course.
a cohesive, you know, movie, or even it's not even a cohesive TV show. Because a TV show, when you talk about great TV, you know, uh, The Wire, oh God, what is it? Breaking
Breaking
Bad,
Bad,
the first
Sopranos,
five seasons of Game
First
of
Five
Thrones.
Game
I
of
mean,
Thrones.
there's a
Yeah.
progression, there's a development, there's a story, there's a beginning, middle, and end, right? And this is just kind of giving us, okay, year after year after year of particular events leading up
Yeah,
to,
snippets of certain times that
yes, leading us to Rogue One, essentially, or A New Hope,
right,
whatever
that's going
whatever
to
you want to say.
culminate into a final, or whatever the case is. But yeah,
Yeah.
I agree, 100.
But
percent
they need there's so much stuff left out, and you have to watch Clone Wars and Rebels and other things to kind of fill in. You can kind of read the whole canon, get the whole story, but it's not meant to cohesively. If you were to watch this and not anything else, you probably wouldn't know what's going on. To be quite honest, I mean,
No, 100%. This is meant for Star Wars fans, right? Who are more,
yes,
who not even not deep Star Wars, just those who are familiar with it, understand the stories that watched it before. Obviously, which most of Star Wars is like that anyway, right? They're all meant
yeah,
for Star Wars fans. You're not gonna attract new fans. It's hard to do that by now.
yeah,
But it's still good. We'll talk about the finale next week, of course, and all
yeah.
these other shows that are coming out. Forget to subscribe, of course, hit the like button, comment below. I read all the comments all the time. We appreciate it, and we'll see you guys next week. Again, happy Mother's Day.
Peace.